Hey everyone, welcome back. Today's tutorial is this really beautiful warm orangey glittery eye. I did promise quite some time ago that I would use the Topaz palette by Huda Beauty, and I finally got around to filming with it today. And the colours perfectly match my jumpsuit. So I'm going to pin my hair out the way and we're going to start off with the face. For foundation I'm using the NARS Natural Radiant Full Coverage Foundation. And to work that into the skin, I'm going to try this Evie Blender. If you've never seen it before, it's 100% silicone, and this is supposed to be better because it doesn't absorb your makeup. It can be sanitised and it really doesn't wear out like a foam sponge would. I'll zoom in so you can see the texture of it. The only thing that I found that I particularly didn't like about it is the length of time it takes to get the foundation on. The silicone itself is quite hard, so it's not one that you bounce, instead you roll or pat it onto your skin. So I've switched to a normal beauty blender. I don't know if you've noticed, but my pigmentation has gone. I will put a video together on this. The only thing I have found is that my skin's kind of gone into overdrive since, so you'll have to put up with my skin texture and breakouts for the moment while my skin adjusts to a new regime. So over my foundation, to give my skin a bit more of a sun-kissed glow and a bit more dimension, I'm using my cream-based bronzer. This one is by Shonagh. I'm working this on all the areas that the sun would hit naturally, so it looks more like I have got a suntan rather than I've just tried to contour my face with a warm-based product. To remove a bit of the shine and set the foundation, I'm going to use the Airbrush Flawless Powder by Tilbury, and I'm using my sponge pressed into the powder to press that directly onto my skin. The only place I'm not going to set is directly underneath my eyes, as I may apply some concealer at the end, as I'm not sure yet. I don't want to set that area. Obviously I've done my base before my eyes, but that's because I'm going to use shadow shields to catch any fall down. If you don't have shadow shields, you might want to do your eye makeup first. I'm quickly filling in my brows using my Shape and Shade Brow Tint by MAC. I do have a full tutorial dedicated to just filling in my brows using this product, and I will link it on screen for you if you missed it. So moving on to the eyes, I'm going to start off with the NARS Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base. This will help to neutralise the skin tone of your eyelids. It will also help your eyeshadow from migrating and creasing. To work it in, I just use my fingers and I tap that into place. So this is the Topaz Obsessions palette by Huda Beauty. I'm going to take this creamy peach tone, which is very similar to Skin Tone, and run this over the entire eyelid. As we are going to be working with matte finishes, I want to make sure we've got no tackiness to the skin. This will give a slightly silky finish to our eyelids, which will enable us to use the matte finishes without creating patches. Then I'm taking this yellowy orange shade, and I'm running that across the entire eyelid above the socket line. And this is really just as a bit of a transition shade. You won't notice it too much when it's finished, but it will help to fade the orange shade up so that it looks a little bit more tangerine-y than a burnt orange. Now we've got that down as a foundation, we're going to mix that same shade with a little bit of the muted medium orange shade, and we're going to work that over the same area. And again, having that yellow as a base is going to help to keep everything quite vibrant. So you can see that we are taking this colour quite high on the inner edge towards the eyebrow, but we aren't taking it too high on the arch of the eyebrow because we do want to leave a little bit of space there. I'm switching my brush to a duo fibre brush, and I'm using the same colours, only this time I'm letting the brush do the work for me. I'm putting it into the socket, working it backwards in window wiper motions. It's following the shape of my eyeball. This means that the majority of the colour is directly through that socket in the shape of my eye, and then I use what's left on the bristles to blend that out, and I work it in circular motions. The reason I'm using a duo fibre brush this time is because it picks up less pigment, so it won't overload my eye. Now I'm going in with this kind of brick tone, and I'm using the same duo fibre brush. This time I'm placing it into the socket but slightly lower, so it is covering a little bit of my mobile eyelid. So before we wanted the brush to go into the socket and higher, this time we want it to go into the socket and lower, so we get a nice transition between our deeper orange into our lighter orange. Like I said before, by using the duo fibre brush we're picking up less pigment, so we can do it in nice washes of colour as opposed to overwhelming the eye and ending up with a bit of a muddy mess. So I've not picked up any more colour. I'm using what's left on the bristles to fade that up into the orange tone. That's creating that beautiful gradient. Next I'm going into the darkest shade in the palette. This is a reddish warm brown, and using a tap-in motion I'm pressing that onto the mobile lid, and in light washes I'm building up the intensity. I found this particular colour in the palette seems to be less pigmented than the rest. So it did take me a couple of goes to build up the intensity, but that's fine because I really do like the overall finish, especially as these are really nice matte eyeshadows. You can see that they blend into one another really well. Then I'm going over everything with a clean blending brush. Using a pencil brush, I'm taking a mix of the two orange shades and running that underneath my lower lashes Make sure you connect it with the outer corner of the top lid so it's nice and seamless, and you can smoke it down quite low because we are going to be going in with a darker colour close to the root of the eyelashes. This is that reddish brown shade. Again, make sure you connect this with the outer corner of the top lid, and we're going to smoke that about 3/4 of the way across. I'm going to be creating a focal point to the centre of the eyelid, so I'm going to take a little bit of my Too Faced Full Coverage Concealer and apply this directly to the centre of the mobile lid. Take it up as high as where your eye crease is, but this doesn't need to be precise because we're going to tap it in with our finger just so it creates a little bit of a lighter section to the very centre of our lid. Over this I'm going to be applying one of the duochrome finish eyeshadows from the palette, so we want a little bit of a tacky base for it to stick to. That's why we're applying the concealer, but also having a slightly lighter base will allow the colour to look more like it does in the actual pan rather than what it might look like over a dark eyeshadow. Also, I found the best way to apply these is with your finger. Over that I'm going to press some glitter by Kiss My Fairy in Midas Touch. I tap on the lid to remove any of the chunky glitter, so all that's left behind is the fine glitter, and that's what I'm going to use to tap onto my eyelid. On my finger is a very light amount of clear glitter glue, so as I press the first layer onto my eyelid, the glitter comes off with it, and then it gives me something else to apply a second layer to, and then a third layer to build up the intensity of that glitter. And as you can see, I've just pressed this onto the very centre of the lid. Next up, I'm going to use the Milani Stay Put Matte 17-Hour Liquid Eyeliner in Coffee Brown. I bought 3 brown eyeliners this week, all cheap ones because I wanted to test them, and this one is phenomenal. It's so good, and I love that it dries a little bit darker than the kind of chestnutty brown that it comes out. So I'm just creating a wing on the outer edge, always drawing up and away from the eye to begin with, and then filling it in by coming back towards your eye to thicken the wing. I will list and link all the products used in the description, but for those of you in the UK, I got this on Beauty Bay. Next I'm taking Coffee Pencil by MAC. This is also a brown shade. I'm using that to tightline and fill in my waterline. I think brown works a lot better with the orange tones than a black. I find black can be a little bit harsh and also a little bit Halloween-y when you put black and orange together. Brown's one of those colours that's suitable for all age groups, it's a lot more flattering, and brown along the waterline suits all skin tones. So moving on to eyelashes, I'm giving them a good curl with my Natasha Denona curlers, and then I'm going to apply a pink primer by YSL. This is going to create volume to the lashes with only one coat of mascara. I have created a tutorial on fuller looking lashes featuring this primer, so I will link that on screen for you. Once that's more or less gone dry, I'm going to go over that with this mascara by Revolution. It's called the Revolution Mascara, and it's so similar to Too Faced Better Than Sex and the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir. It's a deep intense black, it's got a multi-bristle wand, and the formula on me lasts really well, although I have heard that a couple of people have said that it flakes a little bit, but for £8 I think it's really good. Over that I'm applying some wispy lashes. I believe these ones might be Allure, and I will link the name of them in the description bar because I can't remember off the top of my head which ones they are. But either way, they're quite natural and they just give a nice fluffy look to your lashes. As I always say, if you've not seen my tutorial on applying eyelashes, I will link it below for you. Dabbing my finger into a little bit of that glitter, I'm applying this to the inner corners of the eyes. This is optional, you don't have to do it, but I feel like it just gives a little bit more of a festive feel to the eyes. It's so beautiful, it's one of my favourite looks. So going back to the face, I'm going to take some of this Too Faced bronzer. Now that we've got our eyes done, we can see how much more we can apply to the skin to create a little bit more dimension and make it look less flat so that it kind of matches up with the eyes. So you know that we already applied some cream bronzer to the face, and without the eye makeup that looked beautiful as it was, but now the eye makeup's on, the face starts to look a bit flat again. So that's what I mean, everything kind of needs to match up. If you think about wearing a red lipstick and you have no other makeup on, it doesn't necessarily look finished, but if you added a little bit of base or a tiny bit of mascara, it balances the lipstick out. Here I'm applying a little bit of the Kevyn Aucoin Sculpting powder into the hollows of the cheeks. For blush, I'm going to use Peaches Blush by MAC, and I'm going to apply this to the apples of the cheeks and pull the colour back. We don't want anything too intense because we've got quite a lot going on the eyes, but adding a little flush to the cheeks just kind of gives your skin a bit of life. And as I've got a lot of texture going on my skin at the moment due to this new regime, I want something with a matte finish. The brush I'm using is one by Makeup Forever. If I can remember the name of it, I will link it below for you. On On the lips I'm using Crush by Huda Beauty, and then over that I'm going to add a little bit of a glossy shine using this lip gloss by MAC in the shade Pink Clash. I don't even know if this is still available, I've had it quite a while. Underneath the eyes I'm popping on a tiny amount of the Benefit Buoying Hydrating Stick Concealer. This is the only hydrating concealer I've ever used that does not crease. I finally found my Royal Glow Becca highlighter. This has been on the missing list since the summer. Believe it or not, it was just sat there in my highlighter drawer, but every time I've been there to look for it, I couldn't see it. So this is just on the tip of the nose, the cupid's bow, and a little bit of my eyebrow bone. I've not used it on the high points of my face because of my skin texture. But if you do have immaculate skin, then go wild with the highlighter because this is a beautiful glowing look for the festive season. I just want to thank you all for supporting me during 2018. I want to wish you all a wonderful Christmas, and I look forward to seeing you all in 2019, or rather you seeing me. If I get a chance, I will film one more tutorial before the year's out, hopefully for New Year's Eve. Stay safe and I'll see you soon. Bye!